Alright friends, thank you for joining me here for another video at Savior of the Second. My name is Adam, I go by Coach Hardgains, that's the name of my coaching platform. I've been coaching bodybuilders, current and recovering addicts, as well as mentoring troubled youth for over 20 years. Now if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know what a huge fan I am of the Ruger LCP. I started out being a carrier of micros, not because I wanted something necessarily small, but because I was in gym clothes all the time. I needed something that was easy to just throw on my body somewhere and something that I could take everywhere with me. Now with the belly holster, something I can wear conveniently with gym clothes. And that ended up being the Ruger LCP. I've had all of them. The LCP-1 was obviously a disappointment. The trigger was sloppy and garbage and there were no sights. Then comes this guy. The LCP Special, which is really just a Davidson custom with a skeletonized anodized trigger and actual sights and a white dot in the front. And this is, to me, the perfect micro and really essentially one of the most perfect firearms ever created in its designed category. It's designed to be a micro and it is, to me, perfect at that. So I've had my eye on a bunch of different micros for a very long time. I've compared it to different ones that I've owned over the time, and I've owned and I've carried and I've used and I've fired. And I've gotten rid of all the other ones just because there's no sense in me keeping them because I wanted to expand my collection of LCPs. And I've done that. So catch that video there. You'll see some of my other LCPs. I've got a few other ones and I love them all. I have my eye on a couple other LCP special editions, and I'll continue to buy those while comparing them to other micros. Now, one micro that has interest to me for a very long time is this, the Beretta Pico. If you are not familiar with the Pico, this is the video for you. Because this is such an interesting firearm, and see, not only that, it's a pain in the ass firearm. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat, right off the rip. I was excited to get my hands on this. I've only been playing with it for a couple days. I cleaned it. I've been trying to get to know it. And I'll tell you right now, this little bugger is not something I'm going to carry. Because I will carry the LCP over the Beretta Pico any and every day of the week. And I'll tell you why. So let's get into that. Now, just like the LCP, the Beretta Pico is a Micro 380. Now, the Pico is renowned to be the thinnest micro on the market. Now, the Beretta Pico is very thin. It is a little thinner than the LCP. Every other dimension is very comparable. They are comparable in every other way. Except for with that pinky extension on there, obviously the Pico is a little bit longer. Now, if we use this pain in the ass, stupid design mag release and put a flush mount in, now we are at a comparable length, okay? Now we are apples to apples. But the LCP has an angled handle, whereas the Pico has more of a straight handle. It's designed to take the recoil a little bit better, especially in the angle of the barrel. But now I want you to know I have not fired the Pico yet, okay? I haven't taken it to the range yet. So this is just essentially my tabletop, feel it out review. The Pico feels like it's just going to fly out of your hand. But everyone says that it is relatively easy to shoot. And recoil is manageable. I do like that the sights are removable, whereas the LCPs would need to really go to a gunsmith. Most people are not going to change out those sights on their own at home. But both the front and the rear Pico sights can be removed with a tiny Allen wrench. Now with the Pico, let's talk about a couple things. It looks kind of cool. Feels kind of cool, but then it doesn't. I will say the one thing that the Pico has going for it is the takedown is so easy, and I like that it's cool because you finish your mag, and if there's a problem, you pull out your mag, take the base plate of your mag, pop it in this tiny little screw hole right there. Can you see that? Okay. Turn it so that it's horizontal, and that's it, man. That sucker's off. You're ready to field strip, clean, or, you know, take care of anything you need to take care of. You're ready to go. That's pretty freaking cool, man. I mean, that is a cool design. Now that's it. That's really the only thing that I'd say the Pico has over the LCP. So let's talk about what it doesn't have. Well, it's got a shitty grip because at least the shape of the LCP feels like it belongs in the hand. It feels like you want to be holding it. The shape of the Pico doesn't. It's just... Let me tell you that again. That's what it feels like. And then you've got this ambidextrous mag release that's supposed to be pushed down. Okay, there's the mag release, right? Mag release. You're supposed to push it down, but you got to do it with your nail. Now watch. Yeah, man, that thing flies out there. Ooh, got it. All right. It flies out, so cool. All right, flies out, but I can't for the life of me operate that mag release with my thumb. Unless I dig my nail in there. So it's more like one of those things where you're going to fire, and then use your opposing thumb, release the mag in the hand. Did you catch that? So you're going to want to kind of like do it with the nail of your opposing thumb. Boom, 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 boom. I'm out. Oh, psh, oh. There it is. Oh. Man, it's just... And then you've got the flush slide release. And that's... You think like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a cool design, but again... Another part of the gun that you need to operate with your nail. I cannot operate that with my thumb, with the skin of my thumb. I have... It's just, it's so tight. And I cleaned everything, and I lubed everything up, and it's just... Whereas... With the LCP, it's so light. The slide is so light. Every aspect of the LCP is functional and made for the shooter. Whereas the Pico has quirks that are made for ultimate concealability. I guess I don't even really know. They wanted to do something cool with the slide release and flush mount it. And then they wanted to do something cool with the mag release or different with the mag release. And I don't know. It's just not functional for daily use. I'm not going to carry it because I'm going to have an issue. I'm going to run into a problem where I can't release that mag. I can't release the slide. Something's going to happen. I mean, it's a fun gun. It's a cool looking gun to throw into the collection. It's like, hey, cool, I have the thinnest 380 on the market in my collection. Sweet. But, and takedown's easy peasy, right? Cool. But basically, oh, and by the way, if you dry fire this gun too much, which I see everybody doing on the reviews, just pop, 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 everybody dry firing it, and then they say, well, I've got firing issues, and, well, you're not supposed to dry fire this gun. It says it in the manual. Something like repeated dry firing of the Pico will result in damage or malfunction. So, you guys, don't do that. Don't dry fire your Pico. I will say this. Obviously, the LCP is not perfect. The LCP takedown is a pain in the ass. You know, this little guy right there, that little guy, that's not easy to get out of there. I have broken a nail pulling that little pin out of there, but, you know, Who cares? But the slide, oh man, that slide, oh, for a tiny little 380, I mean, it's just, it's easy. It's easy. The Pico just isn't. And I want to love the Pico because it's cool, you know, and it's something neat, and it's like, I wish it was more functionally designed. So, it's that simple. It's that simple, friends. It's a gun that I wanted to love, but I'm going to have to love to hate it. Does that make sense? I wanted to love it. I have different LCPs for different things. I've got them set up so that I don't have to swap things out and do, maneuvers and so forth. So friends, that's really it. That's your introductory tabletop. I'm not the guy that's going to run out all these numbers and specs and go over the book. Go read the book, go read the manual. Go watch those reviews. But I'm the guy that's going to give it to you straight, and I'm the guy that's going to give it to you with as much functional information as I can. And I'm letting you know that if you are looking at a Beretta Pico for a usable micro carry, I would say pass on it and go find yourself an LCP special or an LCP custom. These Davidson customs with the anodized triggers, you'll see they're all the skeletonized ones here with the holes, and it's either a red, blue, or silver trigger. That way you also get these upgraded functional sights. That is what you would want to pick up. I don't think I've ever actually had a malfunction with any of my LCPs unless it was user error. I know that I have made a couple mistakes on my own end, but otherwise I don't believe that the guns themselves have given me any malfunctions. So I can say that confidently. And so that also gives me the confidence in carrying an LCP, knowing that in my experience, it has not let me down. So friends, that's it for today. I hope that you guys are enjoying the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. We've got to get this information out there, and we are trying our best to participate in saving the Second Amendment. And yes, the Second Amendment is under scrutiny, and it does need help. It does need assistance. We do need to protect our Second Amendment. And it's many of you with your blindfold on saying, oh, our Second Amendment isn't under fire. It's not. Oh, our Second Amendment is fine. It's not. You need to take the blindfold off, because your 3 and your 10 and your 5, they didn't work, did they? So take your blindfold off, pay attention, and let's save our Second Amendment. Catch you next video, guys.